Hey, it's Ewing here, and I want to talk more about mortgage note investing and property taxes. So one of the most important things to do when you're looking at buying a mortgage note and doing your due diligence is to check and make sure that there's no unpaid property taxes on the property, because if you were to buy that note and then the county were to foreclose because of the unpaid taxes, they're the only entity that would have the right to foreclose out from under you if you've got a first lien mortgage note that you're buying. Okay, but the county does have that legal right for unpaid property taxes, so it's extremely important to make sure that they get paid. Now, some of you may be in a very bad spot or have been in the past where you own a note, whether you did an owner finance deal and now you have a note, or you bought a mortgage note, but you have a note and you think you're safe because you assumed that the property taxes were getting paid by the property owner, who's also the borrower. Or maybe you thought that the property taxes were being collected in escrow and paid out by your loan servicing company. An error was made, and if the property were to get sold off and foreclosed on by the county at the county tax foreclosure sale, it would seem pretty dire. It would probably seem like you've lost your entire investment into that mortgage note. However, there is a little bit of hope in that almost every state allows for excess proceeds to be recovered after a property tax foreclosure. So what excess proceeds are is a situation where if the property goes to a tax foreclosure or tax sale and it gets bid up beyond what is owed to the county in taxes, then that surplus or those excess proceeds can be claimed by either the property owner, or if you're a lien holder, then you typically, most states, you have a priority claim as the first lien holder. So that if you own a note or a mortgage in first lien position, you have a priority claim to recover those excess proceeds that result from a tax foreclosure. Okay, so that's good news for you, as long as the property sold for a decent amount of money. Okay, and in my experience, if you've got a decent asset, so the house or the property is a decent property, and you were smart about buying the mortgage note so that you've got some equity behind you, a lot of times investors go to these tax sales and they pay 70, 80 cents on the dollar because they're pretty competitive to buy that property at the tax auction. So let's just give you an example. Let's say that the house was worth, let's say that the house sold for $100,000 at the tax sale, okay? And let's say your note amount, principal balance owing on your mortgage note that you have is $80,000, okay? Now let's say that there was $5,000 owing in taxes to the county. So if the house sold for $100,000 and only $5,000 was owing to the county, then there would be $95,000 in excess proceeds that the county would be entitled to hold for a certain amount of time. So every state is different as to how long you can claim these funds or how long the county holds on to them. Sometimes you've got 6 months, sometimes you've got 2 years, up to 5 years in some states. But if you act on it quickly, there in this example, if the house sold for 100, you were owed 90 on your mortgage note, 80, and the county was only owed 5,000 in taxes, then you would easily be able to recover and claim the maximum amount of principal balance owing on that note. You'd be able to claim that as a first lien mortgage holder and recover your entire investment. So it would not be lost, okay? However, sometimes maybe the property didn't sell for that high. So let's say you were owed $50,000 on your note that you owned. Let's say the house sold for $40,000 and the county was owed $5,000. Okay, so if the house sells for $40,000 minus the $5,000 owing to the county, then there would be $35,000 in excess proceeds after that foreclosure sale. And if you had first lien position on your note, then you'd be able to claim that $35,000. So you wouldn't be able to recover everything, but at least you wouldn't lose everything. Okay, so if you're in a situation where you've had a property that you have a note on go into tax foreclosure, let me know. My other business is actually helping people recover proceeds after either a mortgage foreclosure or a property tax foreclosure. So reach out. I'm happy to help you recover that money. If you do have first lien or even second lien position, you might have a chance of getting some money after a foreclosure, or at least contact the county and talk to them and just figure out what your rights are as a mortgage holder on a property that just went up for auction. And they should be able to help you figure out the best way to recover at least some of those proceeds that were owing on your note, so that your entire investment isn't wiped out. So I hope you find that useful. Comments are welcome underneath the video. Feel free to subscribe to my video or to my channel, as I've got lots of mortgage note and real estate investing content coming up in the future. And thanks for your time. I don't know what else to say, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Talk to you soon.